Hello! In this video, I will be showing you how I got and managed to stay organized on a daily basis. These are just a few tips and tricks that I find incredibly helpful, and they help me stay organized even with a very busy school schedule. I promise you, I was a student who used to be defined by laziness. Like, I would literally wake up and just sit in my room for 6 hours thinking that Netflix would magically solve all of my problems and get rid of all of my work. Like, no, that's not what's gonna happen. Instead, here's what you should be doing in order to stay organized. Here we go. So the first thing you should do in order to stay organized is to create a schedule or make a to-do list. A visual list allows you to look at what you need to do, and throughout the day you can continue to add or remove any tasks. As you complete each one, you can give yourself a sense of accomplishment every time you check one off, which is also a huge bonus. Ensure you schedule your time well. Instead of simply throwing a bunch of tasks for yourself, allocate a good time frame for each one to complete it in. This adds a sense of immediacy, and the deadline entices you to finish on time. It's also important to be able to distinguish between events, important tasks, and the smaller, easy-to-complete ones. When making a list, observe the tasks and section them into categories for easy management. I'd also advise you allocate a day, possibly at the beginning of a week or a month, to create your schedule. This simply gives you free time to look at an overview of that week or month and mentally prepare yourself for any tasks you'll have to do in the future. Personally, I use Google Calendar to note down any event-related activities, and I write any smaller, easy-to-complete tasks in my bullet journal. If bullet journaling isn't your thing, however, Todoist is a great app I use to make lists and note down digitally any immediate tasks that I need to complete. The dark mode is also really good because it doesn't blind me every time I'm up late trying to finish any last-minute work. Another thing you can do in order to stay organized is to create a comfortable and suitable workplace. It is vital that you allow yourself to separate both home and work life, and especially now that we're limited to our homes, this becomes more difficult. What I've done personally is to allocate a study desk space that faces away from the rest of my room. Why? Not only does this create an area where I can focus alone on my studies, I won't get distracted by my bed or other miscellaneous items in my room. I don't have the luxury of facing towards a window, so what I do is just take a little bit of time out of my day to sit outside and appreciate Mother Nature. You should also aim to create an organization system, whether this be for books, financial accounts, stationery, etc. Personally, I set out all of my most used stationery on my desk for easy access, and the rest I've stored in these boxes from Muji to help create space and ultimately declutter the area. This helps me focus better on my studies and limits any ambiguous distractions. For my stationery, I use an assortment of containers for that messy look, and keeping organized helps me to maintain a clean and fresh atmosphere to help improve productivity. I handwrite my notes for memorization, and I contain them all in folders which I can distinguish between by class subject. Possibly one of the most important things in order to stay productive is to not overwork yourself. It is extremely important that you don't overwork yourself. I used to believe that studying for a solid 5 to 6 hours a day was the only way I could memorize heavy content. And as a high school student, still trying to memorize thousands and thousands of words for class, that was not the greatest idea. I would wake up the next day feeling angry at myself for not memorizing, and ultimately I would just be tired and unmotivated for weeks afterwards. Instead, once you've created your schedules and lists, ensure you allocate time to be creative, active, or relaxed. It's important you put your health first, so every so often take some time to go grab a snack, paint, exercise, bullet journal, you name it. Hopefully these tips and tricks will help you become more organized. Stay motivated. Much love, Hannah.